Welcome to the Men Who Will podcast with your boy Finesse, and
Rebel, what's up, guys?
you already know what it is. We're going to be talking about the greatest and latest that comes to being your big brother, your little brother, what's going on, what men care about, what we care about, everything in between.
Yeah, and today we're gonna have some NBA topics. I mean, let us know what you guys think, but this is just us talking about what's going on in the NBA right now. So yeah, enjoy. Hey, man, you been paying attention to the NBA?
I have, man. I like what I'm seeing this off season. It's amazing.
Yeah. What do
Yeah,
you like
man. I
about
can't.
it, man? Elaborate.
Oh man, well, I mean, let's see. I mean, we could go back in time and talk about everything that happened with Cleveland and the Celtics, or we could bring it back to everything that happened 2 days ago. Carmelo going to OKC.
Yeah, man. The funny thing is, they got Paul George now. They got Westbrook. The only issue I have is Westbrook has been dominant by himself for so long. He might have a problem just sharing the ball. I remember listening to something saying that there are three ISO players, and they've never had three ISO players on the same team before. And Westbrook being the type of guy, he's tenacious. That's why, like, he's my favorite point guard, by the way. A lot of people prefer, Curry or
I thought D Wade was your favorite point guard.
not at all. Get out, man. I love him and his tenacity. You know how he goes up for the dunk, bro? He doesn't care. He dunks on sinners. Come on, man. Westbrook
like
is
Westbrook.
the man.
Westbrook has definitely grown on me.
Yeah. So him being who he is, I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to share the ball as much. Because look at it this way, right? So 2015, 2016 season, when Kevin Durant got hurt, and had to sit on the bench for a while. Automatically, Westbrook knew what he had to do was to step up, right?
Right.
He did his job, is what I'm trying to say.
Word.
And when Kevin Durant came back, he had a hard time adjusting to Kevin Durant being back because he's been the center stage guy for a while, and he loved that. He loved it. You know what I mean? Being getting the ball, being a nice ISO guy, always driving it in, being the last person to shoot. When it counts. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the same game played as when Carmelo and Paul George are on the floor. Him adjusting, having a hard time to adjust, and sharing the ball, and knowing the right time to pass, and taking the back seat. Not taking the back seat. He's still gonna be OKC. You know what I mean? Westbrook is OKC, but I'm wondering if he's gonna have a hard time sharing the floor with all those guys.
Now I feel you on that. I guess everything could be a challenge. Sorry, everybody out there. I live in the hood essentially, so
New York state of mind, baby.
I live in New York, Dave. So that's the sounds of the city. Anyway, so yeah. Now that that's all done, wow, what were we talking about?
Oh, NBA. I was like, what do you think? So what do you think?
So here's what I think. I think that it's going to be amazing. I don't know if it's going to be the first or second year that they're going to gel together, but it's definitely going to be amazing. Yes, I get that people are probably worried if Westbrook is going to relinquish control. But the way I look at it, I love sports because you gain so many life lessons from it. So just relating it back and forth to life lessons, Westbrook was with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant left Westbrook like a relationship. Now, I don't want to say girlfriend boyfriend because obviously they're both straight, but
there's many different types of relationships out there. Yeah.
Well, that too, but usually if someone leaves you and you're mature yeah, you at first might be like, oh, they left me, why they leave me, whatever. But you're also gonna take stock of yourself. What could you have done better to make them stay? If they were maybe worth staying, or it probably wasn't meant to be. Period. But you hopefully when you go into newer relationships, you'll go in with that growth and maturity on how to do things better. So now that people probably were looking at Westbrook like, oh, he's no fun to play with, like they used to do with Kobe. Maybe it's a sign of greatness, but if you're going into a new situation, he's going to want people to play with him. Now he has two stars, not one, but two stars coming his way. And I think more than he wants to stuff the stat sheet, he wants to win, and he wants to whoop Durant's, you know what, I'm sure, in the West. So I think he would be willing to sacrifice in order for the greater good. I would assume that Carmelo, as good as he's been, he came out, what was he, the same draft class as LeBron maybe, or somewhere around there?
No,
Probably.
same draft class. Same.
Yeah. Well, I would think that Carmelo, all these years and no championships, that's got to be tough pressure. So, yeah, he might have always been the man, but now you're going to a team with newer stars. Yeah, you might be third, but you want to win a ring. And, hey, you got to pull it together because, as you know, the West is no slump. And those guys, like Paul George, you see interviews where he's depressed that every time in the East he has to face LeBron. So I feel like those guys, if they really are there to win, they're going to figure it out.
Yeah, they're definitely a contender. I don't think they're going to win, though, to be honest with you, just because, it's their first year together. That's right. One. You still got to remember we have the Warriors, which is stacked with a bunch of, great players. And they've been playing with each other for a while. So they have that chemistry going there. Westbrook, for sure. I think, this is going to be like an adjustment period for them as far as learning how to play with each other. And, they're quick learners. They're pros. So they've been playing in the league for a while. Westbrook is the only one that hasn't been traded. He's been with OKC ever since he started, which were the Super Sonics when he got drafted. But, all those guys Paul George, he hasn't been traded, has he?
No, this is the first time.
Oh, okay. So Paul George, this is his first time as well. But Carmelo's been in a couple teams, so I'm pretty sure Carmelo would get the hang of it pretty quick, compared to those guys. But it's going to be fun to watch. It's definitely going to be fun to watch. I'm not going to lie. I'm excited about it, man. Oh, also we have the Rockets too. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, the big Rockets now. Who just went CP3?
Yep. Yepper.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know if I'm as excited about them though, but it is funny. Just touching on the Rockets, it makes me think of Harden. So just coming back to our original thing about Westbrook, whether he would be able to play with them or not, even though Westbrook's been the man for so long, he did play with Kevin Durant and James Harden. Yeah. And they, as a team, did make it to the championship versus Miami one year, even though they lost. And yeah.
Well, the reason why I say that is because, they actually did play with each other. What was it, semifinals? The Rockets versus OKC?
Word, yeah, true.
So, this is gonna be good. I definitely see both of them making it into the playoffs. The Spurs. Oh my gosh, the West is gonna be so stacked, man.
Yeah, no, the West is crazy. You hearing these rumors about LeBron going to LA? Like, what?
I just saw that. Like, going to LA and how it might ruin basketball. But I think he's gonna stay with Cleveland for this year, and next year he might go to LA.
Oh, so you do feel like he might go to LA?
Well, I know he wants to leave Cleveland.
Okay.
I know that, but I'm not sure if LA's in the talks, then most likely he's looking at LA, which could be a potential trade right there, or whatever he needs to do to get on that team. But um, what is they were talking about? If he goes over there, he's gonna take all the shine away from Lonzo.
Lonzo.
Yeah, because I mean Lonzo's a rookie, but playing with LeBron is not a bad thing neither. As a new kid on the block.
Word. Plus, you gotta learn how to win for a winner. Anyways, it's not like Kobe was winning by himself.
Yeah, I mean, like if you. So I'm looking at it from my perspective. If you were to put me on the NBA team, I don't care if I'm playing maybe 3 or 2 minutes in the game. If I get the chance to play with Michael Jordan, I'm definitely gonna take it. There's no way I'm gonna be like, nah, I don't want to play with an all-star, even if it's for like maybe 3 minutes, just being on the floor with him, sharing the ball with him. I would not mind it at all. So Lonzo, I mean, I've never seen him play, to be honest with you. I've watched a couple of highlights, but I've never actually sat there to watch him play.
And that's the thing too.
Go ahead.
No, I thought about that too. Like, maybe I am not a basketball aficionado like some of these guys out here, but I don't see what it is. The hype. I love that his father is so supportive and the confidence and skills in them, but I don't see what everyone else sees. Maybe I'm spoiled because I watched LeBron and Kobe highlight tapes when they were playing in high school, and they just look so dominant. And watching Lonzo in college, yeah, they won, but he doesn't have that dominant look to him. I just don't see what everyone else sees.
Yeah, I don't know. What about Dwayne Wade?
Wade from downtown, man. Oh, man. Is it Miami? Is it Cleveland? Is it elsewhere? Who knows, man? I heard Miami. Huh?
Before you continue, I was just reading something where Paul George he announced what did he do? But he was basically trying to persuade Wade to come to OKC.
That would be messed up. That would be like a cheat code team. But what he would be like the backup though for what's his name? Well, I guess wherever he goes, it's probably going to be the backup, but he would definitely be the backup to Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I mean Russell's averaging what, like 30 something minutes a game or something like that.
Yep, still young.
And so I mean, yeah, it could probably take some weight off. I know Wade, when he first came off, man, in his rookie year, I love that kid, but now I don't know, man. I don't know if it's old age, but he's just not playing as he used to. I mean, I get it. Even he's efficient. He's on the floor for however long, 18 minutes, and he's still scoring 20 something points. I get it. He's good. He's efficient, but I just love that tenacity that like LeBron has, or Westbrook, or those guys. That's the type of game I love.
Yeah. Well, he definitely was Westbrook, and even a Derrick Rose before the injury. That definitely was what Wade was known for. Mm-hmm. First championship that he won with Shaq.
Flash.
He's definitely known for that. But I like him for story's sake to go to Cleveland. I would love to see LeBron and Wade again team up, but I don't know what that would look like because they got so many point guards. They already got a Derrick Rose. They already got Isaiah Thomas. So it's like, I guess maybe that makes for a deep bench, but I don't know.
A deep bench is not bad. We'll see, man. Right now, it's all speculation.
Yeah.
For sure, whenever the season starts, it starts at at the end of next month or the end of this month.
One of them, I don't even know, the preseason. But with LeBron going to the West, I don't even understand that because to me, all right, actually I do. I had a eureka thought. For the most part, when it's been rumored, I have not understood it because I'm like, if you want your shot at getting a championship, why not stay in the East knowing good and well that's where you dominate? It doesn't make sense to go to the West unless your story in your mind to build a championship mind for all those people who don't think that you're a cleaner, a closer, whatever. Shout out to Tim Grover, Relentless. But for all those people who don't think that you're a closer or for your legacy, like, you know what? LeBron voice, like, you know what? I'm actually gonna take my talents to the West and show everybody that I'm really the man and dominate the West and get the seed and go all the way and then kill the East in the finals. I mean, either way, like he's still you're gonna be more injury prone in the West, I would think, because you're playing against better competition. But on the flip side, that looks great for our legacy. People are talking about, wow, no one has ever won with three teams. Who was the man who won with three teams? Then people, but then so yeah, on one side injuries, the other side you're the man. That's something that's never been done. Or what I look at is if your goal is to eventually beat Golden State, you're still gonna have to face them in the West.
Yeah, but I mean, he might beat him. That's the thing. That's a shot. That's a chance you have to take. You know what I mean? You don't know until you cross that until you get there. Unless you take that risk, you will never know. Of
That's
course,
true.
I mean, you can't keep doing the same thing over. Now you don't even have Kyrie Irving, which was the reason why, I'm not gonna say the only reason, but he was one of the main guys why you guys made it to the finals in the first place. Now you don't even have Kyrie Irving. What's the point of staying there? He can't do it by himself. You
Mm,
keep doing the same. Yeah, I mean, they lost
I
to them
gotta
twice
argue with
now.
that, but I gotta argue with that. Kyrie, yeah, did his thing, All Star, definitely an important piece in them winning their finals, and yeah, all right, getting to their finals. But Kyrie Irving without LeBron never got to the finals. LeBron without Kyrie Irving has been in the finals almost the last decade. So I don't
Yeah, but
really
not.
put as much weight on Kyrie.
Okay. That's without Kyrie, but with Wade and Bosh, right?
Well, he
Or
did it by
when he
himself
when
once.
he first when he, but it's not the same. I'll be honest with you. He was a lot younger.
Exactly. He was a lot younger and inexperienced.
He's way more experienced than what he was back then, and the game is changing. When he first came in, I don't think there was that many competition as there is now. To be honest with you, would
I don't know if it was just that easy. It
I'm not
was
saying it was easy. They're pros, man. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just saying he was young. Um, Definitely the game isn't the same game as it was back then. Players are building super teams now. Back then, I don't think they were building super teams as they are right now.
they're not, but he did have to play against the Spurs. What I'm thinking is Kyrie is. I don't think Kyrie is like the number two person in the league.
He's the
You know,
best point guard. He's I would say top two, top three.
top three because you just thought about Westbrook and you just thought about what, Steph
Curry.
Curry maybe. So when you say it like that, I think about for LeBron's position and for others, LeBron is the number one dude still in his quote unquote old age. So
Yeah,
I mean Isaiah Thomas is not a slump. I mean, yeah, he might have the injury or whatever happened, but these guys are hungry. Rose, I don't think Rose is coming here to just, be a bench warmer or to just get a free ring.
he's gonna have to be either way.
I think those guys are coming to play. This is like a chance. This is like one of those, you got a second chance. You got to show up.
You do, but factoring in the West and how stacked they are over there, there it's gonna be tough for them to make it into the finals, or
To
not
win
tough
the
for them to make
finals.
to win the finals. Sorry guys, my alarm just went off. I was getting ready for my bedtime. Shooting this pretty late in the day, but it's all good though.
Yeah. I definitely feel you, but then that brings me back to, why would LeBron want to go to the West? Why not let the West beat up Golden State? So by the time you get to them, now that the West has gotten steroids and they beat up Golden State, you probably have a better chance of getting the championship, as opposed to go join the West to get beat up by all the teams in the West to then also face Golden State.
Well,
Why?
I like what you said. It might be an ego thing. He might just want to build his legacy up. And
And
it
yeah,
could be that. He's Braun. He's already being compared to Michael Jordan. Wouldn't you want to be on your own in your own lane rather than
touche.
exactly. The reason why Kobe is not where LeBron is right now because he was so much like Michael Jordan. He wasn't doing anything on his own. He wasn't being Kobe Bryant. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This guy wants to be LeBron James. He wants to be known as LeBron James. So it could be a thing of, him building his legacy. And, 20 years from now, we look back at it and say, man, LeBron James just, want to be an icon, kind of like how we're talking about Michael Jordan, you know?
yeah, he definitely will be. That's for sure.
So it could be that. But I don't know what he's thinking. One thing I don't like about one thing I don't like about him is, he whines a lot. Yeah.
What is he whining about? Here we go. We was just about to be done with this podcast, but now you got me heated. So for all y'all who don't know, Brees is a Wade fan. I initially came into the NBA as a Wade fan, but as I started playing ball and becoming a real fan of basketball, I am sold out to LeBron. I'm a LeBron fan. So
Yeah.
me getting ready to hear his arguments and go at him. Why is LeBron? What is LeBron whining about, and why do you
My
say he
man,
whines
you
too
can't you
much?
can't charge in the lane and not expect to get touched by somebody. Okay? And every time somebody rips the ball or, touch you, you you're throwing your hands up like, damn, foul, foul. Well, come on, ref. Come on, ref. You're charging in the lane. Come on. This is what he does. He's a big guy and he knows it. He's running down the lane, getting ready to do what he does.
Yeah,
And people are gonna try to stop him. And you can't just throw your hands up like nobody's supposed to stop you. That's why like some people don't even bother anymore. I'm not saying that's the sole reason, but you know, of course he's a big guy and sometimes you gotta get out the way.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that's one of the things I have a problem with. I mean,
Ah,
that's the only thing I have a problem with, to be honest. It's not one of the things. He's a great player. I'm not taking anything away from the guy.
okay. I see what you're saying to an extent, though. I mean, if you're comparing it to Michael Jordan's day or something like that, which a lot of people tend to do, it was a different version of basketball. There were different rules. So just like, I don't know, I guess no hand checking is allowed. So
See,
you're gonna want, huh?
so I'm not even comparing it to Michael Jordan, right? I'm comparing it to the guys that are playing in the same league, the same time as he is right now, smaller. Steph Curry. I don't know if you've ever seen this clip. There's a clip on YouTube where Steph Curry, every time he's getting picked, he's getting bullied out there. He's getting bullied out there. He's not complaining. You know what I mean? That dude's driving down the lane, and dudes are just checking him, not just a low tap. I mean, they're bum rushing him. And he's not throwing his hands up. Of course, some of the fouls I feel like they need to be called on. But you know, stuff like that is gonna it's the game that we play, man. It's a physical sport.
So
And
whose
you
job
being
is
a
it then?
big guy, and you being a big guy, it's definitely the refs. But you being a big guy and knowing that you're probably like the most athletic guy in the league right now, and you're driving down the lane and you're getting touched and you're whining about, ah man, ref, come on, bro.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but just because I'm big, that means that people can foul on me. Like, have you never been playing pickup on the courts with the young kids and they be so annoying you want to slap the crap out of them because when they fouling you and they damn near holding your leg like little kids hold their dad's legs in Dragon. When they damn near doing that, it's cool, but let you just breeze on them. Foul! Foul! What? You big? You big? You big? What's your foul? I'm like, damn, these kids. I didn't even grow up playing high school basketball, and these kids is calling like high school basketball like legit rules. I'm like, I don't even know if I really know what that is. Like, what do you mean? You just fouled me the same way, but because I'm big, it's okay. So imagine LeBron now. He's out there getting pummeled every day. It's like a mosquito. If a mosquito hits you once, it's annoying. But if different mosquitoes hit you 5 million times, that thing becomes aggravating. Now, if you do that and try to slap one mosquito and relate that to real life, that's like, damn, why is you tripping? It's just one mosquito. But you've been getting this in every single town that you go into when you start balling with everybody. So yeah, after a while, it kind of probably does get annoying. You trying to drive, and again, flopping sucks. But at the same time, if the ref ain't calling it, you got to protect yourself too. Mayweather sucks as a boxer, some say, because he's not exciting, because he doesn't allow himself to get touched. And Ali and them guys back in the day are great because they took the punches. But now look at Ali. Or well, he's gone now, but remember for the longest, I mean, he had what was it? Parkinson's.
Mm-hmm.
He took a lot of hits. Like, should LeBron not be caring about his body and people hitting him and checking him certain ways that might be in danger of his health? And yes, flopping, terrible. Definitely terrible. But I don't know if he's a punk about it. I mean, if we're under the scrutiny and the magnifying glass that these guys are at our own jobs, I think a lot of us look like we're flopping and calling trash plays as well.
We can agree to disagree on that subject because I'm gonna go in.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I mean, see, you're looking at it as if he's getting major fouls, right? You're thinking, oh well, he's after a while, like you said, if mosquitoes are biting you, if you have 10 mosquitoes biting you all at the same, I mean, every town you go to, after a while, it gets annoying. But the thing is, it's not even that. The dude is looking for it. All right? It's not like I'm walking down the street, oh damn, a mosquito's biting me. No, if I go to a town and then whoa, there's a swamp, let me go check that out, and I get bit and I'm asking for it. What do you expect, my man? Pass the ball sometimes. If you're just gonna drive in the lane and not expect to get touched,
LeBron doesn't pass the ball.
I'm not
All
saying he
people.
doesn't. I'm not saying he doesn't. Of course, he's like the star player of the team. And sometimes he feels like, oh yeah, I gotta take a shot or I gotta drive it in when I need to. But that's what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? There's people down there, and you're gonna get touched, and so you not expecting to get touched is a fantasy. Is what I should say.
Well, I agree with that because I think you and we grew up pretty tough. And I don't have half the skill of some of the youngins who we play basketball with on the court. But when I see their skill and I overwhelm them with my defense, and you could tell that they're pretty skilled, but they start getting uh, discouraged and start complaining and whining and to me it's funny because I'm like playing psychological games with them, but I'm like, wow, all this freaking whining and every time you miss a shot, That shot's off. Like, why the hell you need to tell me? Forget about it and move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Like, oh, oh, that's off. That's off. Like, why are you saying that? Like, are you trying to, it should have been good, but it's off. I don't know. That win, something else. It wasn't my fault. Like, no, improve it. Like, why? So I agree with you. Definitely, you should expect things to not go your way in the game of basketball or in life, period. But I guess the way you handle it, so somewhat agreeing with you, like I guess he could shake it off and handle it a better way. But hey, I mean, he's under some tough scrutiny. Can any of us stand up to that level of scrutiny if people were, again, if we're at our job and people are reporting on what we do, like what? Look at the way that dude came back late, 30 seconds from his break. Damn, look at him. He has sucky character. Like
The problem with that in a job, depending on who you are, depending on how well you perform at your job, if you're not working for yourself, you're always going to be a number. Whereas in the league, NBA, they're more than a number, they're names. And people aren't looking at them like, well, this guy sucked, let me get rid of him or something like that, which is different,
Yes and no. I have to disagree with that as well. I think, yeah, most big companies like the ones, that
we're not gonna name any names.
Yeah, we're not gonna name any names per se, but yeah, the majority of people are definitely a number. However, there are people at those jobs who are somewhat indispensable. Um, an MJ and a LeBron, a Kobe, those guys are somewhat indispensable, and I say somewhat because it would be ludicrous to cut those kind of guys from a team, but it can be done. It can be done, but because they've made themselves so valuable, it's close to impossible. And I do believe that there are certain people in a job who have made themselves indispensable, where the majority of people they aren't. They could get cut or fired, whereas there are certain people who, even if they do get cut or fired, their LinkedIn is popping. They're gonna have a job by tomorrow or next week.
I agree.
So again, with that scrutiny, you know, uh, yeah, NBA players, there are people who are on the bench who you never see, who are kind of like a number as well. They'll get traded for pieces for a bigger player. Think, how does that feel if three of yous gets traded for one of me's? You know what I'm saying? That's gotta suck.
Yeah, for sure. All right, last topic, man. Last topic. So, do you think they should do away with the East and West playoff conference, or just unify all the top 16 teams, whether it's coming from the East or the West?
I think they should do away with the conferences, and whoever makes it in makes it in. Whether it's on, it would be weird how would they structure it, but yeah, I don't think that the West should be stacked. I think that it should be even across both East and West.
Yeah. What do you mean by even? Like, you mean have
Like
same value, like have great players on the East as well? I mean, just the same as the West has right now, or do you mean? What do you mean?
So I guess you could still keep those teams geographically on the West, but like we can say the West is stacked because we know that whole conference has a lot of great players, a lot of great teams in comparison to the East.
Mm-hmm.
Just break up the conference where you know your schedule is not mostly West dominated and then playoffs, whatever. Like break it up so that it is fair. Because as much as I do love LeBron, I think that it would be great if he didn't have the easy ride that people said he did going to the Eastern Conference, getting the seed for the East every year. I think it would be great if it was even across the playing field to really showcase his greatness by making it to the Eastern or whatever they would call it. Just.
Yeah, and it's not only to showcase his skills, but show everybody's skill as well. Like who's the better teams out? Who are the better teams out there? I think if they, I think they should do away with the East and West conference playoff. I think they should just unify and just instead of being 1 through 16, make it 1 through like 20 or something like that. You know, just add more teams
Hmm.
and just adding the top 20 or whatever number is going to be, whatever number of team that you want to put on there, the top number of teams that you want to be put on there and have them battle it out. I think that would make for a better game. I think a lot more people would enjoy it. Um, like you said, even though we have LeBron, who's like the only, I'm gonna say the only great player on the East, but he's a top player over there on the East, right? And so when you have LeBron, everybody could already say that, oh, LeBron will make it to the finals. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
not. It's not really. It's already like you could already guess who's gonna make it to the finals, and that takes away from the joy of enjoying the game, of really, the all you're taking away all the guesswork is what I should say.
Right.
And people love the game because of that, because they don't know who's gonna win or they love to see who's gonna make it to the finals, or they love the excitement behind it. And when you have a team where they're guaranteed to make it to the finals, they're guaranteed to win the championship, you kind of don't want to watch it because you almost feel like, well, we already know what the outcome's gonna be, so I'll just watch the finals just for the sake of watching the finals.
Okay. Fair enough. Can't even argue that because that's the way I feel about OKC, not OKC, Golden State to an extent. Like it's almost disrespectful. OKC, I mean, always mixing the two up. Golden State, they pretty much say that they're going to be there, and it's like a slap in the face to all the people who are building in the West, all the great players in the West. And then going back to that whole conference thing, it's got to suck for one of the lower teams, the team after the 8th seed that would be technically the 9th seed, has to be looking at some of those 4 and 5s in the East like we would put a spanking on them.
Hmm.
They don't deserve to even be in the playoffs compared to us, but only because our conference is so stacked, we're not where they are.
Yeah. Oh man, it's getting late. Let's call it a night.
Yeah, man. Well, you take it easy.
All
See
right.
you on the courts one day.
All
Hope
right.
you can back up all that trash talk when I file that behind. Like what? It's
Yeah, I'm
basketball. It's a
gonna raise my
contact
hand up,
sport.
like, and look at the ref like LeBron does, homie. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have a talk with the ref. I'm gonna
All
have that.
right.
I'm gonna get to that foul line, brother.
Foul
We'll
line.
see
All right,
about
man.
that. Well,
Take
yeah.
it easy.
Peace.